What if the secret to being the smartest and best version of yourself isn't about talent, but about mastering your mind? Many people feel stuck, overwhelmed, constantly battling self-doubt, wondering why they can't break through. Is it because they're not smart enough? No. It's because they haven't mastered the mindset of growth and resilience. The greatest minds in history, Socrates, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, they didn't rely on talent. They mastered their mindset. And you can too. In this video, you'll learn how to harness the power of Stoicism to achieve mastery, sharpen your mind, and become unstoppable. We'll explore powerful Stoic principles, practical strategies for self-discipline, and actionable techniques for critical thinking and personal growth. If you've ever felt stuck, lost, or frustrated with your progress, you're not alone. But today, that changes, because the secret to being the best and smartest isn't about what you have. It's about mastering who you are. Are you ready to take that first step? 1. The power of mastery mindset. Mastery isn't about talent, it's about mindset. The Stoics believed that everything begins in the mind. Your perception, your interpretation, your response to events. These define your success. Think about this. Two people can face the same challenge. One sees defeat, the other sees opportunity. The difference? Mindset. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, faced constant political turmoil. He was surrounded by betrayal, disease, even war. Yet he maintained his composure. He mastered his mindset, and by doing so, he mastered his world. He understood a powerful truth. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This wasn't just philosophy for him, it was his way of life. Imagine facing endless challenges, but remaining unshaken. Not because the world is calm, but because your mind is. That's the power of mastering your mindset. And this isn't just for emperors or philosophers. It's for you, right now in your life. What challenges are you facing? Stress at work, overwhelming responsibilities, uncertain future. You have the power to decide how you see them. Are they obstacles or opportunities? The Stoics teach us that life is not about what happens to us, but how we respond. Epictetus said it best. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This is the essence of the mastery mindset. It's not about controlling the world, it's about controlling your mind. When you master your mind, you master your life. But how do you do it? It starts with reframing challenges as opportunities. The Stoics practice this daily, seeing adversity as a path to growth. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal from those closest to him. He could have responded with anger, bitterness, even revenge, but he chose understanding, compassion, and resilience. Why? Because he mastered his perception. He asked himself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow stronger from this pain? This mindset turned his suffering into wisdom, his challenges into strength, and you can do the same. What challenges are you facing right now? How would your life change if you saw them as opportunities for growth? It's not easy, but it's powerful. It's about training your mind every single day. Start by questioning your thoughts. Are they helping you or hurting you? Are they empowering you or limiting you? Challenge your negative beliefs. Replace them with empowering ones. Instead of saying, I can't do this, say, I'm learning how to do this. This is how you build a growth mindset, a mindset of mastery. But it doesn't stop there. Mastering your mind also means mastering your emotions. The Stoics called this apatheia, not apathy, but emotional balance. They didn't suppress their emotions. They understood them. They felt fear, anger, sadness, just like us. But they didn't let these emotions control them. They observed them, questioned them, and then let them go. This gave them power over their reactions. And this can give you power too. Imagine facing criticism, but not taking it personally. Imagine facing failure, but not feeling defeated. Imagine facing chaos, but staying calm and focused. This is what mastering your emotions looks like. This is what the Stoics practiced every single day. Seneca said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Your power lies in how you interpret events, not in the events themselves. This is freedom. This is mastery. But how do you cultivate this mindset every day? Here are some practical steps. Daily reflection. Every evening, reflect on your day. Ask yourself, what did I do well? Where did I react emotionally? How can I respond better tomorrow? This practice helps you learn from each experience and grow stronger. Reframing challenges. When facing adversity, ask yourself, how can I grow from this? See setbacks as lessons, not failures. This builds resilience and a mindset of mastery. Gratitude practice. The Stoics believed in focusing on what you have, not what you lack. Every morning, list 3 things you're grateful for. This shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance and builds emotional resilience, mindfulness, and presence. Practice staying present in every moment. Don't dwell on the past. Don't worry about the future. Focus on the now, because that's where your power lies. Questioning assumptions. Challenge your beliefs, especially the negative ones. Are they facts or just stories you're telling yourself? Replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones. These are not just practices, they are habits of mastery. They are the daily disciplines that shape your mindset and your life. And remember, mastery is not a destination, it's a journey. It's about getting better, one day at a time. It's about striving for growth, not perfection. So ask yourself, what would your life look like if you mastered your mind? How would you feel if you were in control of your emotions? Who would you become if you saw every challenge as an opportunity? This is the power of the mastery mindset, and it's within your reach right now. The Stoics knew this, and they became unbreakable. Now it's your turn. This is just the beginning, because the next principle goes even deeper. It's about transforming knowledge into wisdom and wisdom into power. Are you ready to unlock it? Let's continue and discover the next key to mastery. 2. Self-discipline, the foundation of mastery. Mastery requires discipline and consistency. The Stoics knew this, and they built their philosophy on self-control, because without self-discipline, wisdom is just a theory, and success is merely a dream. Self-discipline is the foundation of mastery. It's the power to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's the courage to say no to distractions and yes to purpose. But here's the paradox. True freedom comes from discipline, not indulgence. It's not about restriction, it's about liberation. When you control your impulses, you control your life. When you master your desires, you master your destiny. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, understood this deeply. He practiced voluntary discomfort, intentionally embracing hardship. Why? To build resilience, to strengthen his mind, and to conquer his desires. He would sleep on the floor, eat the simplest food, and wear the roughest clothes, not because he had to, but because he chose to. He did this to remind himself that comfort is a luxury, not a necessity. By doing this, he trained his mind to be unshakable. He prepared himself for life's unpredictability and built an inner strength that no external force could break. This is the essence of self-discipline, to be the master of yourself and not a slave to your desires. Seneca once said, "Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power." Think about that. The greatest power is not over others, but over yourself. Imagine having complete control over your impulses. No more procrastination, no more distractions, no more regrets. Imagine the freedom, the focus, the fulfillment. This isn't just philosophy. It's a way of life, a way to create unbreakable willpower and unstoppable momentum. But how do you cultivate this self-discipline? How do you practice what Seneca preached? It starts with small, deliberate actions every single day. Begin each morning with a deliberate routine. Wake up with intention, not out of habit. Choose to start your day instead of letting the day start you. This could be as simple as meditating for 5 minutes, reflecting on your goals, or even making your bed with purpose and precision. Why is this important? Because discipline is built through consistency, not intensity. It's not about doing extraordinary things. It's about doing ordinary things extraordinarily well. Next, practice delaying gratification. The Stoics taught that true pleasure is found in self-control, not in indulgence. Seneca would intentionally delay his desires to strengthen his willpower. If he craved luxury, he would choose simplicity. If he desired comfort, he would embrace discomfort. This wasn't about self-denial, it was about self-mastery. By delaying gratification, he gained power over his desires and freed himself from the chains of impulse. You can practice this too. Next time you feel the urge to check your phone, wait 5 more minutes. Next time you crave junk food, drink a glass of water first. These small acts of resistance build the muscle of self-control. But remember, discipline isn't about punishment. It's about freedom. Freedom from distractions, from temptations, from regrets. True discipline is an act of self-love, not self-hate. It's choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term pleasure. But here's the surprising truth. Discipline isn't just about saying no. It's about saying yes to your purpose, your vision, your destiny. When you have a powerful why, discipline becomes easy, because you're not just resisting temptation, you're pursuing greatness. Think about it. If your purpose is strong enough, no obstacle can stop you. If your vision is clear enough, no distraction can sway you. This is why the Stoics were unbreakable. They were driven by a purpose greater than themselves. They weren't just practicing discipline, they were pursuing virtue. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, lived by this principle. He disciplined himself, not just for his own growth, but for the good of his people and the betterment of humanity. He woke up before dawn to meditate, reflect, and prepare his mind. Even when exhausted, even when burdened, he followed his routine. Why? Because he understood that discipline isn't about feeling good, it's about doing good. This is the highest form of self-discipline, to live not just for yourself, but for a greater cause. Now, imagine applying this to your life. What would happen if you gained complete control over your impulses? Would you be more productive, more focused, more at peace? How would your life change if you chose purpose over pleasure every single day? What could you achieve if you became the master of yourself? This isn't just about productivity, it's about power. The power to shape your life, your destiny, your legacy. But self-discipline is just the beginning, because the next principle unlocks even greater potential. It's about transforming obstacles into opportunities, turning setbacks into strength. Are you ready to discover it? Let's continue and dive into the next key to mastery. 3. Critical thinking. Questioning for clarity. Mastery isn't about knowing all the answers. It's about asking the right questions. It's about seeking truth, not validation. It's about challenging assumptions and refining perspectives. The Stoics understood this. They knew that clarity comes not from certainty, but from questioning. They questioned everything, their thoughts, their beliefs, their perceptions. Why? Because they understood It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. That's the essence of critical thinking, to question how you see the world and how you see yourself. Epictetus was a master of this. He taught his students not to accept things at face value, but to question their perceptions, to dig deeper, to seek understanding. He believed that our judgments, not external events, are what cause our suffering. He taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Think about that. It's not the event itself, but your interpretation of it that shapes your experience. This is the power of critical thinking, to challenge your own mind, to see beyond your initial reactions, to question not just the world, but your perspective of it. Imagine applying this to your life. Every problem, every setback, every frustration. What if they weren't the issue? What if it was how you perceived them? Epictetus taught his students to ask themselves, is this truly bad, or is it just my interpretation? Am I reacting out of habit, or am I responding with wisdom? These questions create clarity. They separate fact from opinion, reality from perception. But critical thinking isn't just about questioning events. It's about questioning yourself, your beliefs, your assumptions, your biases. Because the greatest obstacle to growth is not the outside world, but the limitations you place on yourself through unquestioned beliefs. This is where Socratic questioning comes in, a method the Stoics adopted from Socrates himself, a technique of asking deep, thought-provoking questions, to explore ideas, to challenge assumptions, to reveal truth. It's not about arguing, it's about understanding. It's not about proving yourself right, it's about seeking what is right. Here's how you can practice it. Start by questioning your own thoughts. When you face a challenge, ask yourself, what assumption am I making here? Is this fact or just my perspective? What would someone who disagrees with me say? Then go deeper. What evidence supports this belief? What evidence contradicts it? What if the opposite were true? These questions don't just challenge your thinking, they expand it. They break down mental barriers and open your mind to new possibilities. But here's the surprising truth. The smartest people don't seek validation, they seek truth. They're not afraid of being wrong, they're afraid of staying ignorant. This is why the Stoics were fearless, because they weren't attached to their beliefs. They were attached to truth, to wisdom, to growth. They understood that to grow, you must be willing to question, to doubt, to challenge, even your most deeply held convictions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake, I will gladly change. For it is the truth I seek, and the truth never harmed anyone." Imagine living like that, without ego, without defensiveness, without fear of being wrong. Imagine the freedom, the clarity, the growth. This is the essence of critical thinking, to be committed not to your beliefs, but to the truth. But questioning isn't just about finding answers, it's about gaining clarity. And with clarity comes power. The power to see through illusions, to break free from biases, to make decisions not based on fear or habit, but on wisdom and truth. But how do you practice this daily? Start by challenging your biases. When you encounter a new idea, resist the urge to agree or disagree immediately. Instead, ask yourself, what if this were true? How would my perspective change? Next, consider opposing viewpoints. Seek out ideas that contradict your own. Not to argue, but to understand. Because understanding isn't agreement, it's clarity. Finally, practice Socratic questioning. Challenge your assumptions, not just once, but continuously. Because wisdom isn't a destination, it's a journey of perpetual questioning. But here's the hardest part. You must be willing to change your mind, to let go of certainty, and embrace curiosity. This is where most people fail. They cling to their beliefs, their identities, their egos. They seek comfort in certainty and avoid the discomfort of doubt. But the Stoics taught, That growth lies beyond comfort. That clarity is born from questioning, not certainty. So, how often do you question your own beliefs? How often do you challenge your assumptions? Could this be the key to unlocking deeper understanding and growth? Think about it. If you questioned your perspective, what would you see differently? If you challenged your beliefs, what new truths would you discover? This is the power of critical thinking, the power to see clearly, to think deeply, to grow continuously. But clarity is just the beginning, because the next principle is about taking that clarity and using it to make powerful, life-changing decisions. Are you ready to take control of your destiny? To master not just your mind, but your actions and your life? Then let's continue and explore the next key to achieving mastery. 4. Personal development. Growth through challenges. True mastery isn't born out of comfort. It's forged through adversity. Growth doesn't happen when everything is easy. It happens when you're tested, when you're challenged, when you're pushed beyond your limits. But most people avoid challenges. They see obstacles as setbacks, as threats, as reasons to quit. They run from discomfort, and in doing so, they run from growth. The Stoics saw it differently. They believed that challenges were not hindrances, but opportunities. Opportunities to grow stronger, to become wiser, to build resilience. To them, every obstacle was a teacher, every hardship a lesson, every setback a stepping stone to greatness. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, understood this better than anyone. He faced immense challenges, wars, political betrayals, personal tragedies, even a devastating pandemic. But he didn't see these challenges as misfortunes. He saw them as opportunities. Opportunities to strengthen his character, to practice his philosophy, to grow. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Think about that. What stands in your way becomes the way. The obstacle isn't blocking your path. It is the path. It's through facing challenges, not avoiding them, that you grow. It's through embracing discomfort, not escaping it, that you become stronger. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom, to see obstacles not as barriers, but as pathways to personal development, to mastery. Imagine if you applied this to your own life. Think about the challenges you're avoiding, the fears you're running from, the setbacks you're dwelling on. What if, instead of seeing them as problems, you saw them as opportunities? Opportunities to learn, to grow, to become better. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal from those closest to him, but instead of becoming bitter, he used it to cultivate forgiveness and wisdom. He faced immense pressure as the ruler of an empire, but instead of crumbling, he used it to strengthen his discipline and leadership. He faced personal loss, the death of his loved ones, but instead of falling into despair, he used it to practice acceptance and resilience. He didn't ask, "Why me?" He asked, "How can I use this? How can this make me better?" This is the mindset of mastery, to see every challenge, every obstacle, as a gift that shapes you, refines you, transforms you. But here's the surprising truth. The challenges you avoid are the opportunities you need most. The discomfort you run from is the very thing that will set you free. Why? Because growth only happens at the edge of your comfort zone. Because true strength is built through resistance, not ease. The Stoics called this concept amor fati, the love of fate, the acceptance, even the embrace of everything that happens, good or bad. They taught that we don't control what happens to us, but we do control how we respond. And in that response lies our growth, our power, our freedom. So how do you apply this? Start by identifying one challenge you're avoiding, one fear you're running from, one discomfort you're escaping. Maybe it's a difficult conversation you're avoiding. Maybe it's a task you keep procrastinating. Maybe it's a fear that's holding you back. Whatever it is, face it head on. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Not because it's comfortable, but because it's transformative. Next, practice reframing setbacks as lessons, not failures. When something doesn't go your way, don't ask, why me? Ask, what can I learn from this? How can this make me better? Reflect on your setbacks, not with self-pity, but with curiosity. Look for the lesson, the opportunity, the growth. Because every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every failure is a foundation for future success. This is what Marcus Aurelius meant when he said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is the Stoic way, to see every obstacle, every challenge, as a gift that shapes you, refines you, strengthens you. But it's not just about facing challenges. It's about embracing them, loving them, seeing them not as burdens, but as blessings. This is amor fati, to love your fate, to love your challenges, to love your struggles, because they make you who you are. So, what's one challenge you're avoiding right now? What's one fear that's holding you back? How would facing it change your life? Think about it. If you stopped avoiding discomfort and started embracing it, if you saw obstacles not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones, what could you achieve? Who could you become? This is the power of personal development. Growth through challenges, strength through struggle, mastery through adversity. But there's more to growth, because to truly master life, you must also master your emotions. You must learn to stay calm, focused, unshaken, no matter what happens, no matter how chaotic the world gets, no matter how difficult the challenges become. This leads us to the next principle, a principle that will change the way you see the world and yourself, a principle that holds the key to unshakable peace and true power. Are you ready? Let's continue and unlock the next key to achieving mastery. 5. Deep work. The superpower of focus. Imagine a world where distractions don't exist, where your mind is razor sharp, where your focus is unbreakable, a world where you accomplish in hours what others struggle with for days. This isn't a fantasy, it's the power of deep work. Deep work isn't just about working hard, it's about working with purpose, with clarity, with focus. It's about entering a state of flow, where time seems to disappear, where distractions fade, where your mind is fully immersed in the task at hand. But in today's world, deep work is rare. We live in a constant state of distraction, notifications, messages, endless scrolling. We are constantly bombarded, pulled in 1,000 directions, our focus fragmented, our productivity diminished. The Stoics understood this. They understood the power of mental discipline, the importance of mastering the mind, of controlling attention. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, practiced this daily. Amidst the chaos of ruling an empire, amidst political turmoil, wars, and personal challenges, he found moments of solitude, moments of silence, moments of deep focus. He wrote his reflections, his meditations, not in peace, but in chaos. And yet, they are some of the most profound thoughts on life, on purpose, on mastery. How did he do it? By mastering his focus, by training his mind, by practicing deep work. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Think about that. Your power, your strength, your mastery comes from within, from mastering your mind, from mastering your focus, from mastering your attention. Deep work isn't about working longer. It's about working deeper, working smarter, working with purpose. It's about eliminating distractions and entering a state of flow where creativity and productivity reach their peak. But here's the surprising truth. The greatest breakthroughs, the most brilliant ideas, the most powerful achievements are born not from busyness, but from silence, from solitude, from deep work. Isaac Newton developed his theory of gravity in solitude during the plague, when he was isolated from the noise of the world. Albert Einstein formulated his theory of relativity in deep contemplation, in focused thought. Marcus Aurelius wrote his Meditations, not as a ruler, but as a man seeking wisdom, in moments of deep reflection. This is the power of deep work. It's about mastering concentration, eliminating distractions, and diving deep into thought, into creativity, into mastery. But how do you achieve this in a world of constant noise? How do you cultivate this superpower in a world that craves your attention? The Stoics practiced mental discipline, and you can too. Here's how. First, practice time blocking. Create uninterrupted focus sessions. Dedicate specific blocks of time to dive deep into your work, your learning, your growth. During these sessions, eliminate all distractions, no notifications, no interruptions, just pure undisturbed focus. This isn't just about productivity, it's about mastery. It's about training your mind to focus deeply, to work deeply, to create deeply. Next, minimize digital distractions. Turn off notifications. Silence your devices. Use focus tools to block distracting websites. Create a digital environment that supports concentration, not fragmentation. Remember, you have power over your mind, not outside events. You can't control the noise of the world, but you can control how you engage with it. You can choose silence. You can choose focus. You can choose deep work. Then, practice solitude. Find moments of silence, moments of solitude, to think, to reflect, to create. Marcus Aurelius found solitude even amidst the chaos of an empire. You can find it in moments of quiet, in early mornings, in late nights, in spaces free of noise. It's in these moments that your mind reaches its peak, that ideas flow, that creativity soars, that mastery is achieved. But here's the surprising truth. Deep work isn't just about productivity, it's about transformation. It changes the way you think, the way you create, the way you live. When you practice deep work, you develop mental discipline, you strengthen your focus, you cultivate mastery, you become unshaken, unmoved, unstoppable. But there's a paradox. To achieve this freedom, you must embrace discipline. To master your mind, you must first master your habits. To achieve focus, you must eliminate distractions. This is the Stoic way. To achieve freedom through discipline, to achieve mastery through control, to achieve greatness through focus. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." This is the essence of deep work. To find quiet amidst the noise, to find focus amidst the chaos, to find mastery within yourself. But now I ask you, when was the last time you experienced deep focus? How did it change your productivity? How did it change your thinking? How did it change you? Imagine what you could achieve if you mastered this power. Imagine the breakthroughs, the growth, the mastery, if you practice deep work every day. This isn't just about getting things done. It's about becoming someone more focused, more disciplined, more powerful. This is your superpower, if you choose to master it. Are you ready? But there's more to mastery, more to growth, more to greatness. Because mastering deep work is only one part of the journey. To truly achieve mastery, you must also master your emotions, your decisions, your life. This leads us to the next principle, a principle that will help you make better choices, live with clarity, and lead with purpose. Are you ready for the next key to achieving mastery? Let's continue and unlock it together. 6. Mastering memory and retention. What if I told you that memory isn't just about remembering facts, but about mastering knowledge? Not just storing information, but structuring it strategically so it becomes part of who you are. This isn't just about recalling dates or memorizing quotes. It's about transforming your mind into a powerful tool for mastery. The Stoics understood this. They believed that memory was the foundation of wisdom, that the way you organize your thoughts shapes your actions, shapes your life. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, taught that knowledge was useless unless it could be applied. He wrote, "We should hunt out the helpful pieces of teaching and learn them so well that words become works." Think about that. Words become works. Knowledge becomes action. Memory becomes mastery. But here's the surprising truth. Memory isn't just about recall. It's about organizing your mind for clear thinking, for decisive action, for greatness. The greatest thinkers in history, from Socrates to Einstein, from Seneca to Marcus Aurelius, they didn't just memorize facts. They structured their knowledge strategically, purposefully. They understood that memory isn't about cramming information. It's about creating a mental framework where every idea, every lesson, every insight connects, builds, expands. This is what the Stoics practiced. Not passive memorization, but active organization, turning knowledge into wisdom, wisdom into action, action into greatness. Seneca emphasized learning principles that are immediately applicable in life, in decision-making, in mastery. He didn't just collect ideas, he organized them, connected them, mastered them. But how did he do it? How did he master his memory? In a world without books, without the internet, without digital tools, he practiced two powerful techniques. Techniques that you can use today to master your memory and transform your mind. First, the memory palace technique. This isn't just a trick. It's an ancient method used by philosophers, by scholars, by masters of wisdom. Imagine a place, a familiar space, your home, your office, a place you know inside and out. In your mind, you walk through this place, room by room, corner by corner, and you place ideas, facts, insights in specific locations. You visualize them vividly, clearly, powerfully. The more detailed, the more memorable. The more unusual, the more unforgettable. It's like creating a mental map, a network of knowledge, where each thought, each lesson, each piece of wisdom has its place, its order, its structure. Why does this work? Because the mind remembers images, locations, experiences far better than abstract ideas. By linking information to vivid imagery, you create strong neural connections, connections that make recall effortless, natural, powerful. But this isn't just about remembering facts. It's about structuring your mind strategically so you can retrieve ideas, insights, solutions exactly when you need them. Imagine walking through your memory palace and instantly how would that change your mastery journey? How would that transform your thinking, your actions, your life? Imagine a mind where every 7. Decision-making mastery. Decision-making, the bridge between thought and action, between who you are and who you can become. But how often are your decisions clouded by emotion, by fear, by anger, by desire, by doubt? Mastery is about making clear, rational decisions without emotional interference, without hesitation, without regret. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. They believed that the mind, when disciplined, is the most powerful tool for decision-making. not influenced by circumstances, not swayed by opinions, not controlled by emotions. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic teachers, taught his students, "Man is disturbed not by things, but by the views he takes of them." Think about that. It's not the events, but your perception that influences your decisions. Not the situation, but your interpretation that shapes your actions. Mastering decision-making is about mastering perception. It's about seeing things clearly, without distortion, without bias. But how do you do that? How do you separate emotion from reason? How do you make decisions that are clear, rational, powerful? The Stoics had a method, a principle that transforms the way you think, the way you decide, the way you live. It's called the dichotomy of control. Epictetus taught that there are only two things in life: things you can control and things you cannot. Your thoughts, your actions, your choices. These are within your control. Other people's opinions, external events, circumstances, these are beyond your control. By focusing only on what you can control, you eliminate anxiety, you eliminate fear, you eliminate hesitation. You make decisions clearly, rationally, powerfully. Imagine this. You're facing a difficult choice, a crossroads. One path is uncertain, filled with risk. The other is safe, but uninspiring. Emotion tells you to play it safe, to avoid discomfort, to stay within your comfort zone. But reason tells you to pursue growth, to embrace the challenge, to master the opportunity. What do you do? How do you decide? This is where the dichotomy of control changes everything. You ask yourself, what's within my control and what isn't? You can control your actions, your efforts, your mindset. You cannot control the outcome, the results, the opinions of others. By focusing on your actions, on what you can control, you liberate yourself from the fear of failure. You free yourself from the need for approval. You empower yourself to make decisions clearly, confidently, courageously. This is how the Stoics mastered decision-making, not by controlling the world, but by controlling their minds. But there's more. The Stoics practiced a technique to anticipate challenges and prepare accordingly. It's called premeditatio malorum. This isn't about negative thinking. It's about strategic foresight, about rational preparation. Before making a decision, the Stoics would imagine the worst-case scenario. They would visualize every possible setback, every potential obstacle, every unexpected challenge, not to create fear, but to eliminate it, not to dwell on failure, but to prepare for it, to be ready, resilient, unshakable. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic emperors, practiced this daily. He wrote, "If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your judgment of them." By practicing premeditatio malorum, he neutralized fear. He prepared his mind for every possibility. He made decisions without hesitation, without doubt, without regret. Imagine this power, to make decisions with absolute clarity, to pursue opportunities without fear, without worry, without hesitation. This is what the Stoics mastered. Not just rational decision-making, but emotional resilience. Not just clear thinking, but fearless action. But here's the surprising truth. The best decisions are made when emotions are detached. When you separate feeling from thinking. When you master your perception and control your mind. But now, I ask you, do you make decisions based on emotion or logic? Do you react or do you respond? Do you hesitate or do you act? How would mastering this change your life? How would this clarity transform your decisions, your actions, your destiny? Imagine a life where every decision is clear, where every action is deliberate, where every choice is powerful. Imagine the powers of mastering your mind, of deciding with confidence, with courage, with clarity. This isn't just about making good choices. It's about mastering your destiny, about living deliberately, purposefully, powerfully. But now, the choice is yours, to master your decisions or be mastered by them, to control your mind or be controlled by emotion. This is how the Stoics mastered their lives, through rational decision-making, through emotional resilience, through strategic foresight, through fearless action. But decision-making is just one part of mastery. There's another skill, another principle that transforms action into achievement, that turns potential into power. This leads us to the next principle, a principle that can change the way you act, the way you persevere, the way you succeed. Are you ready for the next key to achieving mastery? Let's continue and unlock it together. 8. Emotional intelligence and resilience. Emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and manage not only your own emotions, but also the emotions of others. It's the key to navigating life's challenges with grace, wisdom, and clarity. But how often do we allow emotions to dictate our actions, to cloud our judgment, to control our words, to influence our decisions? Stoicism teaches that true mastery begins with emotional intelligence, not by suppressing emotions, but by understanding them, observing them, and detaching from them. The Stoics believed that emotions are not enemies, but signals, messages from within that need to be understood and navigated with reason. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, taught emotional detachment, not as a way to escape feelings, but as a way to understand them without being controlled by them. He practiced this to stay calm, even in the face of crisis, to maintain his composure amidst chaos, to think clearly when others were clouded by fear or anger or desire. He once said, "Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power." Think about that. The strongest person is not the one who controls the world, but the one who controls himself, his mind, his reactions, his emotions. But what does it mean to detach from emotions? Does it mean becoming cold or indifferent or unfeeling? No, not at all. Emotional detachment is about seeing your emotions without becoming them. It's about observing your anger without acting on it, acknowledging your fear without being paralyzed by it, understanding your desires without being enslaved by them. This is emotional intelligence, the power to feel deeply but respond rationally. But how do we develop this power? How do we cultivate this emotional intelligence, this resilience, this inner strength? The Stoics practiced mindfulness and cognitive reframing. They trained their minds to observe their emotions as an outsider, to see thoughts as just thoughts, feelings as just feelings, passing clouds in the sky of the mind. They did this through daily reflection, by examining their thoughts, their actions, their reactions, by questioning their assumptions, their beliefs, their emotional triggers. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, practiced this every day. He wrote in his journal, "If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your judgment of them." Imagine the power of that perspective, to realize that nothing outside of you can truly disturb you, that it is your judgment, your interpretation, your perception that creates emotional turmoil. By changing your perspective, you change your emotions. By mastering your mind, you master your life. This is the core of Stoic emotional intelligence, to detach from fleeting emotions and focus on rational responses, to be calm when others are chaotic, to be wise when others are impulsive, to be powerful when others are powerless. But here's the surprising truth. Emotional detachment leads to clarity and wisdom, not coldness. It's not about shutting off your heart, but opening your mind. It's not about avoiding emotions, but understanding them, navigating them, mastering them. But now I ask you, How would your life change if you mastered emotional intelligence? How would your relationships improve if you responded instead of reacting? How would your decisions transform if they were guided by reason instead of emotion? Imagine the peace of not being controlled by anger, by fear, by desire. Imagine the power of maintaining your composure in any situation. Imagine the wisdom of seeing things clearly without emotional distortion. This is the power of Stoicism. This is emotional intelligence. This is resilience. But how do you practice this in daily life? How do you cultivate this emotional resilience, this inner strength? The Stoics practiced mindfulness to observe their emotions without attachment. They practiced cognitive reframing to change their perspective and change their emotions. They reflected daily to learn from their experiences and grow wiser and stronger. Here's how you can start. Practice mindfulness. Take a moment every day to observe your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions, without judgment, without attachment. Just observe and understand. Practice cognitive reframing. When faced with a challenge or a difficult emotion, ask yourself, is this truly bad, or is it my perception that makes it so? How can I see this in a way that empowers me instead of weakening me? Reflect daily. Take a few minutes at the end of each day to reflect on your emotional experiences, to learn from them, to grow from them, to master them. This is how you develop emotional intelligence. This is how you cultivate resilience. This is how you gain power over yourself and your life. But there's more. Emotional intelligence is not just about managing your own emotions. It's about understanding others, connecting with others, influencing others. Imagine the power of knowing what others feel before they even say it. Imagine the influence of responding with empathy instead of reacting with anger. Imagine the leadership of guiding others with wisdom and emotional intelligence. But now I ask you again, how would your relationships change if you mastered emotional intelligence? How would your influence grow if you connected with others at an emotional level? How would your life transform if you mastered your mind and your emotions? This is the power of Stoic emotional intelligence. This is the path to wisdom, to resilience, to mastery. But emotional intelligence is just one piece of the puzzle. There, another principle that builds on this foundation, a principle that turns emotional resilience into unshakable confidence. This leads us to the next key to achieving mastery. Are you ready to unlock it? Let's continue and discover the next principle together. 9. Building unshakable confidence. Confidence. It's the power to move forward even when the path is uncertain. It's the courage to take action even when doubt whispers in your ear. It's the inner strength to face criticism, failure, and fear without losing yourself. But here's the truth. True confidence isn't about arrogance or pretending to be invincible. It's not about knowing everything or never feeling afraid. It's about knowing that no matter what happens, you can handle it. True confidence is built on competence, self-trust, and consistent action. It's about mastering what you can control and letting go of what you can't. It's about cultivating an inner strength that is unshakable, unbreakable, undefeatable. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. They knew that confidence comes from within, from mastering your mind, your emotions, your actions. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, was a master of confidence. Despite facing political turmoil, constant criticism, and immense pressure, he remained calm, composed, and confident. He led an empire, not with arrogance, but with wisdom, clarity, and unwavering self-trust. How did he do it? By mastering what he could control and letting go of everything else. By realizing that nothing outside of him could truly disturb his peace, that it was his judgment, his interpretation, his perception that created his reality. He wrote, "If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your judgment of them, and it is in your power to wipe out that judgment now." Think about that. The power is in your hands to see things differently, to judge things differently, to respond instead of react. This is the key to unshakable confidence, to know that no one and nothing outside of you can dictate how you feel or who you are, that your confidence is yours to build, to protect, to master. But how do you build this kind of confidence? How do you cultivate this unshakable self-trust, this unwavering inner strength? The Stoics practiced competence, self-trust, and consistent action. They built confidence by mastering their craft, by doing, by practicing, by growing. They didn't wait to feel confident to take action. They took action and built confidence along the way. Here's how you can start. Build self-trust by setting small, achievable goals and accomplishing them. When you keep a promise to yourself, you build trust in yourself. You prove to your mind that you are reliable, consistent, capable. Start small and grow bigger, but always keep your word to yourself. Practice voluntary discomfort to build mental resilience and confidence. The Stoics practiced this, intentionally putting themselves in uncomfortable situations, fasting, enduring cold, facing fears, not to punish themselves, but to prove that they could handle discomfort, that they were stronger than their fears, that they were resilient, no matter the challenge. Marcus Aurelius did this every day. He would remind himself of the challenges, criticisms, and opposition he would face, and he would prepare his mind to meet them with calmness, strength, and confidence. He knew that confidence isn't built in comfort, but in discomfort, not in ease, but in challenge, not in safety, but in courage. But here's the surprising truth. Confidence is built through discomfort, not comfort, through facing fears, not avoiding them, through embracing challenges, not running from them. Think about it. What would you attempt if you were truly confident in your abilities? What would you achieve if you knew you couldn't fail? Who would you become if you were unshakable, unbreakable, unstoppable? This is the power of confidence, the power to pursue your dreams without fear, the power to take action without hesitation, the power to live fully, freely, fearlessly. But now I ask you, what would you attempt if you were truly confident in your abilities? What's holding you back from taking that leap, from chasing that dream, from becoming who you truly are? Imagine the life you could create if you built this unshakable confidence, if you trusted yourself completely, if you knew that no matter what happened, you could handle it. This is the power of Stoicism. This is the confidence that Marcus Aurelius mastered, the confidence that allowed him to lead an empire, to face criticism with calmness, to meet challenges with courage, to live with unshakable confidence. But remember, confidence isn't built overnight. It's built one step at a time, one action at a time, one victory at a time. Start small. Build self-trust by setting small, achievable goals and accomplishing them. Practice voluntary discomfort by facing your fears, your challenges, your discomforts. Grow stronger, more resilient, more confident every day. And remember, the path to confidence is not easy. but it is worth it. The challenges you face are the opportunities you need most. The fears you conquer are the strengths you build within. The discomforts you embrace are the confidence you create in yourself. But this is just the beginning. Confidence is just one piece of the mastery puzzle. There's another principle, even more powerful, even more transformative. A principle that turns confidence into wisdom, into influence, into greatness. This leads us to the next key to achieving mastery. Are you ready to unlock it? Let's continue and discover the next principle together. 10. The legacy of mastery. Mastery. It's not just about success or achievement or recognition. It's about something deeper, something more meaningful, something timeless. True mastery isn't about how much you accumulate, but about how much you contribute. It's not about what you get, but about what you give. Not about your personal success, but about the impact you leave behind. This is the legacy of mastery. It's the wisdom you pass on, the lessons you share, the inspiration you ignite, the lives you touch. The Stoics understood the power of legacy. They believed that wisdom is not meant to be hoarded, but shared. That knowledge is not meant to be kept, but passed down to future generations. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, knew this well. Amidst political chaos, constant challenges, and the weight of an empire, he wrote his meditations, not for fame, not for glory, but to pass down his wisdom to those who would come after him. He never intended for his words to be published. He wrote them as private reflections to remind himself of his principles, his values, his philosophy. But those reflections have inspired generations. They have guided leaders, philosophers, thinkers. They have impacted millions across centuries because Marcus Aurelius chose to leave a legacy of wisdom. He wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This is his legacy, a call to action, a reminder to live virtuously, to lead by example, to inspire others, not just through words, but through deeds. But here's the truth. You don't have to be an emperor to leave a legacy. You don't have to be famous or powerful or influential. Your legacy is shaped by your actions, your choices, your values, by the impact you make on the lives you touch. Because your greatest legacy is not wealth, not status, not titles, but wisdom. The wisdom you share, the lessons you teach, the inspiration you leave behind. Imagine this, your words guiding someone long after you're gone, your actions inspiring someone to be better, to do better, your wisdom living on in the minds and hearts of future generations. This is the powers of legacy. This is the immortalities of mastery. But how do you leave a legacy of wisdom? How do you ensure that your impact lives on beyond your years? The Stoics teach us, share knowledge through teaching or mentoring. When you teach, you multiply your impact. You plant seeds of wisdom that grow long after you're gone. You guide, inspire, and uplift those who learn from you. Lead by example to inspire others. Your actions speak louder than any words you could ever say. Your character, your integrity, your courage, these inspire others to follow your path, to walk in your footsteps. Marcus Aurelius did this every day. He didn't just write about virtue, wisdom, and courage. He lived it. He embodied it. He became the example he wished to see in the world. He knew that his actions would echo through history, that his choices would inspire generations to come. And he was right, because today, centuries later, we are still inspired by his example. We are still guided by his wisdom. We are still impacted by his legacy. But now I ask you, what wisdom would you want to leave behind for future generations? What impact would you want to make on the lives you touch? What legacy would you want to build through your actions, your choices, your life? Because the truth is, you are leaving a legacy, whether you realize it or not. Through your words, your deeds, your influence, you are shaping the world around you. The question is, what kind of legacy do you want to leave? What wisdom do you want to pass on? What impact do you want to make on the future? This is your legacy. This is your immortality. This is the mastery that lives on beyond you. But here's the most powerful truth. Your legacy is not written in stone. It is written in hearts, in minds, in lives. It is written in the impact you make today. What will you do today to shape your legacy? Who will you inspire today with your wisdom, your courage, your example? How will you live today to create the legacy you wish to leave? Because your legacy starts now. Your impact starts now. Your mastery starts now. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. This is the legacy of mastery. This is the immortality of wisdom. This is the power of Stoicism. But this is not the end. This is just the beginning, because mastery is a journey of growth, of impact, of legacy. And as you continue on this journey, remember the power of the legacy you are building, the wisdom you are sharing, the impact you are making, because your mastery will live on through the lives you touch, through the legacy you leave, through the wisdom you pass down. Your legacy starts today. Your mastery begins now. Are you ready to leave a legacy that lives on forever? Are you ready to master not just your life, but your impact, your influence, your immortality? Then let's continue this journey together. Let's build a legacy of wisdom, of courage, of greatness. Let's live with mastery, purpose, and meaning. And let's leave a legacy that echoes through time. We've journeyed through the principles of Stoicism. We've explored the power of mastering your mindset, the discipline to shape your actions, the clarity of critical thinking, the growth that comes from embracing challenges, the deep focus that drives achievement, the mastery of memory and wisdom, the strength of rational decision-making, the resilience of emotional intelligence, the confidence built through courage, and the legacy of living with purpose. These are not just ideas. They are paths. They are practices. They are choices. Choices that lead to mastery, to wisdom, to fulfillment. Build unshakable confidence through courage, through consistency, through character. Face discomfort to build resilience. Face fear to build strength. Face failure to build mastery. And above all, live with purpose. Lead by example. Share your wisdom. Inspire with your actions. Mastery isn't about talent. It isn't about luck. It isn't about being the smartest or the strongest. It's about mastering your mind, your actions, your choices. The Stoics taught us that everything begins in the mind. Your perception, your response, your growth, your success. It all starts with how you think, how you see, how you choose. Today, you have learned the tools, you have seen the examples, you have felt the wisdom, but knowledge is only the beginning. Mastery comes from action. Wisdom comes from practice. Growth comes from challenge. So today, I invite you to take action. To begin your journey of mastery. Start small, but start now. Reflect on your thoughts, your beliefs, your perceptions. Challenge them, refine them, strengthen them. Practice self-discipline in your actions, your habits, your choices. Build consistency through small steps, daily efforts, deliberate decisions. Sharpen your critical thinking. Question your assumptions. Seek the truth, not validation. Embrace the power of curiosity and reflection. Face your challenges head on. See obstacles as opportunities. See setbacks as lessons. See discomfort as growth. Practice deep work. Guard your focus. Eliminate distractions. Create moments of pure, undisturbed concentration. Master your memory. Organize your knowledge. Structure your thoughts. Turn wisdom into action. Make decisions with clarity and confidence. Use the dichotomy of control. Focus on what you can control. Let go of what you cannot. Cultivate emotional intelligence. Detach from fleeting emotions. Respond with reason and resilience. Find strength in calmness and wisdom in patience. And above all, live with purpose. Lead by example. Share your wisdom. Inspire with your actions, because your legacy is not just what you achieve, but who you become and how you impact the world around you. So today, I challenge you to take one step, one small action towards mastery. Start with daily reflection, just 5 minutes each day, to observe, to learn, to grow. Practice self-discipline. Choose one habit, one action, one goal, and commit to consistency. Sharpen your thinking. Challenge one assumption. Question one belief. Seek one truth. Face one challenge. Embrace one discomfort. Learn from one setback. Start today, because mastery is not built in a day, but in the days repeated again and again. If you found value in this journey, if these principles resonated with you, if this wisdom inspired you, then like this video, subscribe for more Stoic teachings, and share it with someone who needs a mindset shift. Because wisdom is meant to be shared, and impact is meant to be multiplied. And now, I want to hear from you. What's one mindset change you're committed to making today? What's one action you're willing to take to move towards mastery? Comment below. Share your journey. Inspire others with your courage, your growth, your mastery. And if you're ready to take the next step, if you're curious about how to apply these principles, then don't miss our next video, where we dive deeper into the practices that turn wisdom into mastery. Your journey of mastery begins now. Your legacy of wisdom starts today. So take that step, embrace that challenge, live with purpose, and leave a legacy of greatness. This is Stoicism. This is mastery. This is your journey. And it all begins now.